Hey everybody, welcome to the HIT.OR.DIE podcast. Here with your hosts, Jake Saldati and Chad Rothford. It's Monday morning, May 3rd, 2021, which is the day before all you Star Wars geeks are going to have a lot of fun out there with May the 4th be with you.
Are you not a Star Wars geek?
Nope.
No. Do you like Star Wars?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I'm like you, though. We talked about it. I like the original ones. Then you kind of get lost with all the new ones and stuff. Like, they were before he was alive, after he was alive, before, it's all kind of mumbo jumbo. But
no, we're gonna go.
There's definitely some dorks out there.
We'll go a different day.
Which day will that be?
Cinco de Mayo.
Come on, bro. You're like half Spanish. Give me some.
We'll give you some what?
Cinco de Mayo.
This kind of sounds a little Italian in there.
Well, es.
Cinco. No,
you don't have a Spanish, Mexican. What is it? Spanish accent in there?
No, I could probably throw it. I don't know if I should do that though.
Well, you're half Spanish,
I don't know if that matters anymore.
Mexican.
I don't know if that matters anymore.
Well, anyways, it'll be out on Cinco. What is that? We will put this out on the 5th of May.
The 5th of the 5th. Go please follow on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and subscribe on YouTube. And also subscribe and follow on Spotify, iTunes, and Spreaker. Most importantly, if you like the podcast, please share. If you know anybody that hasn't listened to it or anybody interested in some baseball talk, the best thing you could do is share.
Yeah, we just
share
hit
the
1 million.
Go ahead. 1 million. I want to hear it. I'm waiting. I want to hear it. Wait, 1 million.
1 million viewers out there.
Yeah, we're looking for 1 million. That'd be.
Yeah. What's the quickest way to get 1 million? Let's go. Start now. Start sharing. No, we do pretty well for how small of a podcast we are.
Sure, I think so.
Pretty well.
And thank you for that. We put out the last episode and kind of talked about the proposed league alignments happening, and one of the comments was regarding San Joaquin Memorial. You talked about Memorial and Bullard moving into the track. One of the comments was, good luck with that happening, in that the private schools should be in their own league.
Yeah. I think it was Johnny Be Good. I don't even know.
Twitter.
I don't know who it is, but
thank you for commenting.
Yeah, thank you for commenting. We like it, but the problem with that is nobody can handle Memorial in the private schools. You're not going to put Fresno Christian with San Joaquin Memorial. I think maybe Garces might be the only one, but that depends on sport too. So
yeah, because if you look at basketball, Fresno Christian's good.
But are they
Christian,
D1 good?
Yeah, I don't know.
But
I'm just saying they've won a Valley title recently. Yeah. You had Bakersfield Christian's good at, they're actually across the board compete. But their basketball team's been really good, and obviously Memorial.
CVC would be a private school.
Yeah, but in football, Fresno Christian, I think 7-on-7 or 7-man football. So
yeah, that would be tough playing with four less guys against an 11-man team.
It's a good point. It's a good point. Got to cover a couple guys there. That would be fun to, watch a game like that. Maybe not those.
The center's in the backfield. The little giant.
They're standing around, butts. I know what movie it is. Come on, dude. Yeah, I just don't think that's a very
smart.
It doesn't work across the board.
No. But don't get us wrong. If Memorial played like what is Sarah private school up north, or St. Mary's, or if there was
De La Salle,
De La Salle, if there was a bigger kind of
Archbishop Mitty, those are all that makes
those
sense.
Are schools that San Joaquin would be in. But maybe you do put the private schools, depending on division, put them together. But then those schools would have to travel farther to make a league work. Like we're saying, they'd have to go up north, they'd have to go south, and I know that the school probably wouldn't agree to that. So that's why we put Memorial with the track, because that is the most like competition in the section where they should be.
Yeah, and I think athletically they're going to continue to compete in all their sports. So why not?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if that's the same for an Emmanuel or CVC
or even Fresno Christian. As good as they are, they can't compete Division I.
No.
But that's just the way it is. You know, it's not a knock against Fresno Christian. They do very well in the division that they're in.
Yeah, the numbers are different. It's not the same thing.
No.
That would be my only comment to that. Is making a private
and it's
school
not
league.
It's not a knock against Johnny Be Good.
No.
We appreciate the feedback and the comments. We love anybody and everybody that wants to give us feedback, and we could talk about it on the show like we are now.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. Kind of want to really stay in the MLB area this whole episode. I don't know what you've seen, what you haven't seen, but I'm not sure what's going on with Major League umpires. All umpires.
But
let's just stick to Major League umpires and replay. Right? We missed a week. Last week to start, I want to say it was Monday or Tuesday. It was the 26th, I believe. The Oakland A's had a play at the plate against the Tampa Bay Rays that went to replay. And in real time, it's close. They called the runner out at home. After reviewing it slowly, breaking it down, he looks safe in slow-mo.
There's no question he's safe.
And it goes to replay. And after a minute or two of replay and different angles, and you see kind of where the tag's applied, he looks safe. He was called out on the field.
And whoever in New York, right? Is it
no?
Where does it go?
It goes to New York, yeah, to the replay. And he was called out by New York. Now, I don't know if that's because they couldn't definitively prove or see if he was out or safe, like in the NFL, which is why you're seeing more refs call the play. You know, if it's a fumble, they keep it as a fumble until the play's over, and then they go to review. Because if they can 100% prove it wasn't, you're just seeing more of that.
Yeah.
So are you going to start seeing more safe calls to be proved wrong?
Well, a lot of them have been out calls.
Yes.
I don't know.
And how do you throw out the manager? I mean, the umpires can only see, or they're only doing what at that point New York told them. So, yeah. But maybe Melvin got ejected quick.
I think he was more mad that the umpire missed it standing right there, which I agree.
It didn't look, yeah.
It didn't look close. It wasn't even a bang-bang play.
Agreed.
I mean, for the angle that umpire had, he shouldn't have missed it.
So that's what that was like the third or fourth. I mean, that's the one that everybody's
talking about. There's like 3 or 4 in the
about.
last week.
There's plenty. From that one, and I don't have the timeline in order here, but you got the Brewers. And who are they playing? Do you remember?
Marlins, right?
The Marlins. There you go. Marty Foster, the umpire, called Zach Godley for interference on a little chopper down the first base line, and it's a little crazy because it looks like the runner gives himself up.
Well, the runner's in the grass. He's running on the grass anyways, on the inside of the grass. And yeah, he stopped anyways, and then the umpire calls him for freaking interference when the pitcher was like 1 foot on the grass as well, or 2 feet even, never even close to the dirt.
Well, his interpretation, or what he came out and said, was that he 100% impeded the runner.
How?
So the runner creates the lane.
Then what's the lane for?
That's what I don't understand, because if you go back to that Trey Turner play, which we've talked about numerous times, he did the same thing and was called out.
Yeah.
For running on the grass.
Yeah.
And if the rule says that the runner can establish his lane as long as he sticks to that lane, he should never be out.
So it almost seems like there's 2 rules.
Yes.
There's a running lane for you to run in.
Yes.
But if he establishes his lane inside the line,
right,
that's his lane.
Now, and Godley gave up the baseball before they even made contact.
They didn't even make contact.
I don't know if they touched or not. And even at that point, at the toss, the runner is giving himself up. And he is called safe, which eventually does score.
That is ridiculous.
And that's not reviewable.
Yeah, no.
That's a judgment call.
Yeah.
So these are big league umpires. Like, is that just me being a dick move moment? Like, who makes that call?
I think, well,
besides Marty Foster.
Well, it seems, I don't know. It just seems like all these umpires are getting caught up in, they want to be part of the action. You know what I mean? Because there was always that saying, the best umpires are the one that you don't notice.
Yeah, that's true.
And now all these umpires want to be noticed. Well, I'll tell you what. We don't give a shit as coaches if you want to be noticed or not, because you guys have the power. You guys like establish that power because you know that we cannot do anything as coaches. Because if we do one thing, we're gone, and we can't throw them out. They could be the worst umpire on the field, and we can't do anything about it. We have to let it go the whole game, and all we could do is put them on a blacklist after the game's over.
Yeah, but I think you can only do that so many times in a year.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is like these umpires have the power. They know they have the power, and they almost get like a energy rush or something when they get a coach going.
Oh, they like it.
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah, they like it.
They want it.
They want it. So it's like, but then we get in trouble for it. If we get thrown out, we're gone for more games. They're not gone for any games for being a shitty fucking umpire.
No, they're not. Again, you can blacklist them. I mean, again, I think you can only do so many a year, but
I just think it's getting.
We've only done it once.
It's getting to the point, and you have these freaking fucking Johnny high school guys that have never played past high school or weren't even good at baseball. And I'm not saying you don't have to be good at baseball to be a good umpire, but I feel like there's some guys around our area that hold grudges against their high school coaches or baseball in general for not being good or being cut or not making it. And this is their way to get back at everybody. Like I have a feeling of that with certain guys, certain umpires out there where you know who they are. Oh, that guy got cut by so-and-so.
We had one at Clovis West in 2012. And for some reason, it seemed like he just wasn't a huge fan of us.
No, because KP cut him.
No, it was an older guy.
Oh.
But it was a playoff game. It was our playoff game. And Kevin went to make a mound visit. And he literally got to the mound. The umpire was already there to break it up. Like, he'd almost beat Kevin there. And he'd had a couple run-ins, like just stupid stuff like that throughout the year. I don't know if I should say his name, but yeah, it's I've seen it a lot, especially and I'm seeing more younger guys that aren't prepared. Not
prepared at all.
And I don't know what it is that what you've noticed in the college game.
Same thing. I've seen, being at City, I've seen umpires that I'm like, hold up, this dude was doing high school games last year and fucking terrible at it. Terrible at high school games, and now he's in a junior college game. I mean, we had a guy that...
But, I mean, does the shortage of umpires, is that playing a role? It has to be.
Okay, then if there's a shortage of umpires, then we need more work, like preparing. They need to be
trained.
Yes, yeah. We need more training for these umpires if there's less umpires, because we're just like, oh, we need umpires. Let's throw fucking Slapdick McGee out there. Well, Slapdick McGee doesn't fucking know how to umpire, and now he has the power.
Yeah, and he can run you.
You know, and he wants to put his hands in his pockets because he's the big tough guy, and then he rings you up.
Yeah,
for saying get your hands out of your pockets.
We've had some absolutely horrendous calls this year, like just awful.
Yeah,
and the last time I literally walked back into the dugout to the back corner. I said something, and the umpire jumped me real quick. And I took the helmet off from third base. I walked all the way back corner of the dugout, and I just turned and crossed my arms. And I waited for everything to be over before I even went back out to the field. Because then my next suspension's 4 games. My next second ejection is 4 games.
Yeah. Which you should have appealed your other one, because what the guy said didn't even happen.
True, it was wrong. It was all
so it's like
bullshit.
And that's another thing is
the problem with that was it was during holiday week, and there was nobody there to appeal to.
Yeah.
So
they still should have put it in the file for an appeal. That's on the athletic director.
Well, he did, I think. I don't remember.
Then it should have been looked at.
Yeah. Yeah, there was nobody. There was nobody
even
around.
though you sat a game, you should have that off your record. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You sat a game because you had to, because there was a game right the next freaking day. Then they should still appeal it and be like, okay, he's down to back to 0.
Yeah,
They should do that.
I told Woody, add another coach. Just add another coach's name. And that one, when they ask, you just give them that name. Not mine.
I don't know. It's been really bad.
So back to that Brewers Marlins game, right? So that play happens, and I don't think Counsell gets tossed.
That was like the second inning.
Yes. And later in that same game, there's a bunt attempt that is called a ball, and it looks like the player attempted to bunt the baseball.
Mm-hmm. In slow motion anyways.
Yeah. I mean, even if you sped that up, it looks like he did.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called ball, and they check the first base umpire, Marty Foster again, and he calls it a ball and says no swing. Pat Murphy loses his mind, the bench coach for the Brewers, and is tossed. And it's just like, something that you can't, that's his job. Like, how do you miss that?
These guys get paid a lot of money.
How do you miss that? You're a big league umpire.
A lot of money. A lot of money to do what they do.
How does that happen? How do you miss that?
I don't know, man. I don't have an answer. I think some of these old guys are just over it, and they have their big league time, and they have their, they can't get fired, and they just, I don't know.
So you have that one. So now you're there's 2 just in a matter of a week.
Mm-hmm.
But there's more.
Or technically 3.
Yeah, you had the New York Mets and the Phillies series on a ground ball to second base. So it was on a shift, and McCutchen was at first, and I'm sure everybody saw this as well. He's called out for
being out of the baseline.
Being out of the baseline.
Which he never left the dirt.
He didn't avoid a tag. I mean, he didn't even make a good attempt.
No, he just went to slide.
And then you had a safe call at first where he was out.
Yeah.
And I think it's not reviewable.
They only reviewed the out
first
call at
the first
base.
base, correct. Yeah. But the call that he went out of the baseline
was not
reviewable. So is the umpires? So is the replay now an issue?
Replay is now an issue. It is. Because there's so many stipulations on what you can review, what you can't review, and then, I mean, it should either be no replay or replay everything. Replay anything I want you to replay. You said he was out of the baseline. I want that replayed because you're wrong. Or, guess what? We're humans. We make mistakes. Oh, well. That's part of the game. Like it used to be. It was part of the game. It was a bad call. You know it, but it was part of the game. We had a guy this last weekend call a guy safe at first base, and it wasn't even close. And Coach Scott went out there, and the guy actually was like, hey, I missed it. But not a lot of umpires will own up to that.
No, not at all. We had the same thing happen, where the umpire didn't even turn fast enough. We have a back pick to first base, and I mean the kid never even got to the bag. He's still that far.
He's still not there.
And it was safe. And I'm just like, what are you watching?
I don't know.
It's almost like there's no instincts.
That's another thing is that not anybody can just be a baseball umpire.
No, I don't know. I wouldn't want to do it.
I would love to do it.
Would you?
I almost went into that before Andy got the job at Madera.
I mean, I did it. We had to do it for Babe Ruth. We were in high school.
Yeah.
Our head coach made us umpire Babe Ruth games. But I don't know if I'd want to do it now.
Yeah, I did Little League for like a 1 year, one season.
Because, again, you're not perfect. We're not, you know what I mean?
No, I am.
Oh, okay. Well, then you should do it. You might get to the big leagues. And
No, that's too much time. No, I'm not perfect, but I would do a hell of a lot better job than some of these slappies out there.
these just...
They're easy calls. They're baseball calls. They're almost common sense calls, and they're just wrong. And again, the players and coaches are paying for it. And there's no repercussions, no accountability with these umpires.
I mean, maybe there is. You're not reading about it or you're not seeing it. You're not seeing, like when Jim Joyce had to come. I missed that one with Jason Donald and Gallardo. Like, these guys aren't doing this. I haven't heard of this guy.
Well, there was no replay back then either.
No. I mean, after the game is what I'm saying. He came back out and said, hey, I fucked up. I missed it. You know?
Yeah.
So these guys aren't doing that.
No.
And they're tossing these coaches and then go back and watch this and be like, yeah, shit, I screwed up.
Or you would think they would say they screwed up. You don't even know if they are.
You know, and then you have the other night was Amir Garrett wanting all the smoke. And he did this with the Pirates a couple of years ago. He struck out. Well, so if you watch this again, he's like coming up towards Anthony Rizzo. Is he stepping in the box? Mm-hmm. Like before you even
walking up to him
he's walking up to him, and then he strikes him out. Good pitch, and he just starts barking at him.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking,
Anthony Rizzo's not a confrontational guy.
No, he kind of smirks or he's like, what are you doing?
And he's pretty respected around the league.
I mean, I like Rizzo a lot. I just know what Garrett's thinking. You know, and then Baez, they had a little run-in before. There's history here, and so I don't want to... It's not completely out of left field. But...
Like, why do you...
I don't understand what his... You know, you're down 3-2 in the 8th. You risk getting ejected, which I don't know if he did or not.
Oh, right here.
Yeah,
right
see,
here.
So he's going up. What's that all about? What are you doing? For those that are listening, you know, we're watching a clip of it, and he just starts pumping his chest and, you know, pointing at the mound like, this is my house. I mean, what would you do? Did you ever have any moments like that in pro ball?
Yes. Not as bad, but there were some moments where dudes look at you and you're just like, dude, what the fuck you looking at, dude?
Like, did it ever escalate to more than that?
No. It wasn't like that where he's like, yeah, blah, blah, you know, whatever. I mean, because then shit would go down. And it's not like now either where everybody's all talking, nothing goes down.
And here's the thing. In 2021, Amir Garrett is 0-1 with a 10.83 ERA.
Yeah, good. You're doing good.
8 2/3 innings, 7 strikeouts to 8 walks, and has given up 4 home runs. It's his birthday today, by the way. Happy birthday, Amir Garrett. From California. Mm-hmm. Like, what's the point?
And you're down. You're down 3-2.
Right. I don't get it.
Like, what? It's just... And that is this game just becoming a look at me game? The game of baseball? Look at me.
It's getting weird.
Look what I did.
It's getting weird.
Look what... Let me post my home run on social media. Here's my 4th home run on social media. Guess what? Nobody gives a shit. Just go freaking play the game of baseball and get seen. It's coming. It's like everything's about me. Look at me. Look what I can do. You know,
it's in a weird place. The game is in a weird place. I'm even looking at like we've talked about the high school game where like around here, and I don't know where it's at with other areas that people listen to, like in Sacramento. I'm not up to date on all that, but I'm just focusing on this area. you've got teams beating anybody. And then you go look at the junior college scores and like you go win 15-1.
Oh, and then we lose 15-1.
And then you just turn around and lose 15-1.
I've never been a part of anything.
And it's
like
not
this.
just what happened to you guys. That's happened the last couple weeks to pretty much everybody.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. I've never seen it like this.
Is it the lack of practice time? Or is it
No.
that not everybody's as good as they've been made out to be?
Yes. 100%.
Not that they're bad.
They're not bad. We have a good
just,
team, but everybody thinks they're better than they are.
Everybody's on like this is the level they're at, and they're actually like it's more like here, and that's okay.
It's fun. You can always get better.
But it's obvious.
If you guys were at this level, you'd be playing the big leagues right now.
Well, and you wouldn't be beating somebody up just to turn around and get beat up every other game. It's like you win, lose, win, lose. Nobody's on a winning streak.
Oh.
Just find it odd. There was, but again, segue with Rizzo.
Yep.
The best moment I think that I've seen in a while, especially in 2021, but
for sure,
in recent years was him pitching against the Braves and striking out Freddie Freeman,
which they're really good friends.
Yeah, I just thought that was pretty funny, and it was actually pretty. Listen, little hammer on him,
61-mile-an-hour handpiece. Sit down,
and they had fun with it. I like the barehanded catch on the throwback from the catcher. Kind of pimped him a little bit.
Well, no, he was like, he caught it like, what? You can't hit that? Like, just having fun with it, He wasn't like, yeah, sit the fuck down,
Pulling him a Garrett kind of deal. Yeah,
which somebody commented, I thought it was hilarious. They put up Amir Garrett's ERA, and then they put up Rizzo's career ERA.
It's better. Well, yeah, I mean, he didn't.
Rizzo, he's pitched more innings than that, though.
Yeah, I know he's pitched before, but I'm just saying it's not.
Still,
not a lot of registered innings in there, but that was a great moment. It was funny. I'd love to see more of that kind of stuff. I like some of the the nonsense, the going back and forth. You mentioned even like in high school, like who cares what the other team says to the other team?
Oh yeah, that needs to get shut down. It happens in junior college too. It's like when guys are saying "buy you" or
free 90s,
like, hey, keep it to your team. Keep
Dirty
it to your
ball.
team. That's another thing where the umpires should just, you know what? Just shut up.
But I think they're advised to.
But nobody's there watching you
control
control that. And if it's not out of hand,
like if you're not making personal comments,
if I'm not saying, "Oh, you fucking suck," okay, that's one thing. But if it's like, "Oh, buy you," free 90. Oh, that's his A move. That's his B move. Like, who cares? That's what I'm saying. We're coddling these kids even more. Like, would that hurt my feelings? No, because we talked so much shit when we were going to high school and junior college.
Yeah, it's down. The chatter is way down.
The chatter's way down, but also the ones that do chatter. Do we need to hit that again? Or is it still playing? I think it still plays, though. But the chatter that does go on, it's weak as fuck.
Well, what's funny is
like
I noticed the most chatter is coming from the players that don't play.
Yeah.
So we've had 2 games against certain teams.
Yeah. They're in the track
where they're on defense and they're players that aren't playing
talking crap to the hitters.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It was bad too. I was just like, some of it was
like me as a coach. I'd be like, "What are you guys doing? You guys
like on offense? I get it.
Like the whole team's in
there. And like if you're on third base and you're trying to wear that third base.
Yes, that's a given.
It's what you know what I mean. But like when you're on defense, and I don't know. It was interesting. Yeah, the game is definitely not at a level it used to be at.
No shot.
We'd all be getting thrown out of games. We almost started a fight from the Clovis West bullpen when I was in high school with their right. I don't even remember who their right fielder was, but yeah, it's just different.
It's different,
very much so. But I thought that was just an awesome moment.
Well, and that's also because everybody's friends with each other.
They all play together.
They all play travel ball.
So weird,
they're
man.
They're all buddies, and like they're gonna go out to dinner after the game, and like my girlfriend's your friend, and like it's just so much fun. No, it's not. It's I'm on this team, you're on that team, you're my friend, I'm still gonna whoop your ass, and then after the game we can.
Yeah,
chill.
there's not a level of hatred.
No,
I didn't, because here's the thing. I knew who Manzolino was just because he was good. I didn't know him.
yeah,
We played Buchanan. He was on that team. That dude's badass. Who is that? Jason Donald. Who's that? Right? Torque. Guys like that. Jason Huss. That dude's good. Who is that? It wasn't we played travel together. Oh, I didn't know any of those guys. And I never knew them beyond that. We were never friends. They were legit.
yeah.
Jordan Christensen, they were just good. Prieto. Never knew him. I don't know. But travel ball wasn't really a thing though. So
See, and I knew most of those guys and played against them growing up. And we were still, even if some of us were friends, but it didn't change the way I wanted to beat your ass.
yeah,
in
it was.
the game.
You were trying to have.
I didn't
clout.
walk up to the plate against Buchanan and be like, "Hey, Brett, man, how's it going?"
No, because
Hey,
when you're
you're
at
having
River
a good
Park,
game today.
when you're heading to Edwards on Saturday night and you saw him, it was we owned you last
like
night.
Donald said in his episode.
Yeah,
It was
he did say that.
I don't want to go see Chad out and know that he got me, or
Right.
that's you had something on somebody. Like there's none of that. It's just let's all be friends.
Yeah, the umpire situation's odd, and it's early. It's April and May now,
Yeah,
so we'll definitely continue to watch the big league umpires to see how more out of hand this gets. It's probably going to get worse. It usually does before it gets better. And then you had Harper get hit in the face.
he handled that pretty well.
Yeah, I don't think it was intentional. He hit Gregorius right after, I believe.
Yeah,
And then Arenado got hit the next night. In the ninth, I think it was the ninth inning, which is probably how the wisest way to retaliate that.
I don't know. I don't think it is. I don't think you wait that long.
Well, so they don't get to plunk you back. You get them early. But Arenado took it like a man.
Arenado took it.
Wore it and ran to first base and knew what was going on.
Yeah.
And I don't think there was any incidents beyond that with those guys.
And I think Joe Girardi brought up a good point, like this pitcher staying in for 3 batters rule. It hasn't really sped the game up at all. And with a guy like the Cardinals had that hit Harper and then hit Didi, obviously he has no control. None. That's a guy that needs to be pulled from the game. He shouldn't be allowed to face 3 hitters.
You're talking about a 97-mile-an-hour fastball
To the
in the face.
And then to the ribs.
To one of the game's premier players.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think in that situation, I think the 3-batter minimum needs to just stop. And so you can get guys out.
Ryan Zimmerman said something about it, like, he was glad to hear that his old teammate was okay, but also that's like it's on these GMs, it's on these owners, it's on the state of the game. Like you have these guys that throw 100 miles an hour, but they don't know how to pitch.
No.
They don't know where the ball's going. But he throws really hard. Let's see if we can strike gold with it.
Mm-hmm.
Who's that good for? I mean, unless it's a dude.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that's just this other part of the game. And look at me. Look what I can do.
Staying on that too with, Harper being kind of a premier player. Is Trout still the face of Major League Baseball, you think? I don't know if people
think that.
I thought for a time being
good.
Maybe, but I thought for a time there that he was.
I think he should be.
I agree with you. And
he does everything right. He plays the game the right way. He doesn't show anybody up. He doesn't look at me, look what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. He just plays the game of baseball, and he's really fucking good at it. The best at it in the league. And anybody could be like, oh, well, he plays for the Angels. Yeah, it's harder to probably play for a losing team knowing that they don't have to pitch to you.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had that conversation.
Yeah.
You see Tatis and like you see guys like Machado and Bellinger and the pitching side with DeGrom and Aaron Judge and you're seeing like, Bregman, all these names, and it's more guys that are contributing to that, helping carry that face of baseball. And maybe it's because nobody's talking about Trout. You're not seeing his name everywhere you look on social media.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's not on social media, really. I mean, he is, but he doesn't post just,
he just puts his head down
and plays
and goes to work.
Yep.
I mean, he's hitting .413 in the big leagues. 7 bombs, 20 runs, 16 RBIs. I mean, I was thinking about this too. Currently, is there any no doubt Hall of Famers already? Or is there any no doubt Hall of Famers currently playing?
Pujols.
Yeah. Clayton Kershaw?
Possibly, because he'll be like the last one to win 300 games.
Miguel Cabrera?
I would think Miguel would be in there. Yachty
for sure.
Scherzer, maybe.
Is Mike Trout already for sure guaranteed no doubter? He's 29, 300 plus home runs. I think he's like 1,400 hits. But an 8-time All-Star, 3-time MVP, 8 Silver Sluggers. How many guys are there
with those numbers in his years of playing?
I just think that's an interest. I just like thinking that. Like, who's a no doubter?
And he's consistent. That's the main thing. Year in and year out. Which is like Pujols was when he was with the Cardinals. I mean, Pujols was 330 and 100 for like 10 straight years. The Cardinals. Which was pretty gnarly.
Yeah, I think that's a good point too with Kershaw. Like, you're just not going to see guys do. Just the whole game's so different. You're not going to see starting pitching get those numbers. They're not going to hit all those strikeout numbers. Probably they're not going to hit all those wins. A Cy Young is going to be weird, to see who wins those things, unless you're a DeGrom who's filthy, or Scherzer who just went one hit CG.
And then goes to the hospital.
Goes
to see his kid born.
I don't know. It's interesting, but
he's different. Those are different animals, though.
They are.
You don't hear that again. There you go. Do you hear anything from Scherzer?
No.
Do you hear anything from DeGrom?
No.
Do you hear anything from Pujols?
Nope.
Yachty?
Nope. Amir Garrett, though.
Amir Garrett, Bauer. I mean, you don't the really good. Even Harper. Harper was a cocky, just something nobody's ever done before. He did, graduate high school at 16, played JUCO, 30 bombs, drafted at 17, was a cocky guy, but got humbled a little bit in the big leagues. He's not out there showboating or me, or this and that. Bro, I'm telling you, baseball is the most karma sport ever, and karma has a way of getting you. And the baseball gods are real.
I don't even know, like, the stuff with Tatis recently.
But he's not out on social media.
That was in response.
Yeah. He's not on social media talking about himself and doing this or promoting himself. Bauer simply said, "Oh, just let daddy know." Tatis wouldn't even have said anything if he didn't come at him with a daddy
Well, he did
comment.
the one eye thing in spring training. And
there's nothing wrong with that.
Like, no. But I'm just saying Tatis kind of just clapped back.
Yeah.
He didn't initiate any of it, Like Arenado.
Yeah, he's never.
But I mean, is he a potential Hall of Fame guy, maybe?
Potential. I mean, I don't think you can say in or out now, especially with how bad the voters are too. So
that's a great point. You never know what's going to go on there. You have these Hall of Fame guys, and I saw this story, and it was most hated players in MLB history, and there was a lot of them, but I took some former guys, so I didn't put any current players.
Why not?
There wasn't a lot, but I'll ask you a couple that were on there then if you want. So the first one was most hated players in MLB history. So if you hated them or you liked them, what you can tell me how you feel. Alex Rodriguez.
I like Alex. If the steroid thing never came out, if he never lied about it, it would be a different story with everybody, I think. You know what I mean? But him lying about it kind of hurt his reputation and stuff. And he's not that great of a baseball analyst.
He's a
or color man or whatever.
Play-by-play.
But as a player, if you take young A-Rod, he might have been the best shortstop ever to play the game.
I didn't mind A-Rod as a player.
Oh, I didn't either.
AJ Przinsky.
I could see that.
I didn't like him. I'm not going to lie. Wasn't a fan.
Yeah, I wasn't. He had some antics that he did that he shouldn't have, you know, because he's one of those players that probably just should have kept his mouth shut.
Albert Bell.
Oh, how can you not like that guy?
I'm with you.
He played the game hard.
Yeah.
Who gets hit by a pitch and says, no, I'm staying here? You know what I mean? Nowadays,
And then they got to take off their shoulder pads and their
dude, it's like
their rib guards.
Everybody gets hit hard. Like guys were still throwing hard back then. I mean, it's just
well, didn't he truck
Vina?
Yeah, at second. Was that in the World Series or the postseason?
It had to be because Cardinals. Was he with the Orioles then, or
no? It was in Cleveland.
Cleveland.
It was in
and
Cleveland.
He just freaking elbow. Dropped him like 20 feet in the air.
Just trucked him.
And then just ran off the field. Jose Vina didn't know what to say.
Ryan Braun.
Really? Huh.
I don't know if that's a steroid thing. I always liked Ryan Braun.
Thought he was a good player. I liked him when he was at Miami.
So one of the current players on there was Bryce Harper.
I could see that.
Most hated.
I'm sure Bauer was on there.
Yeah, he was.
Probably number one.
John Rocker. Going back.
Really?
Old Braves closer for a time.
John Rocker. Big dude.
Yeah.
I was flying home. Where was I flying home from? I was flying home from, it might have been from ORU. And I was on the same flight with John Rocker and Terry Bradshaw. And I'm such a pussy. I didn't go get an autograph from Terry Bradshaw. And I'm
glad you admitted it.
I had a flip phone. So I tried to get a picture, and those pictures don't really look good. But you can tell it's Terry Bradshaw. Like John Rocker was whatever, but it was freaking Terry Bradshaw.
Yeah, Hall of Famer.
Which he's a big dude too.
Yeah, he is.
So I was like standing like from me to you from Terry Bradshaw, and I'm like with my flip phone.
Sneaking it.
Took a picture. I was just such a puss, dude, to ask him for an autograph. Because he sat first class, obviously, so they got to seat first, and John Rocker did too. And I knew it was John Rocker, but walking by Terry Bradshaw, I was just like, you kind of try to, oh, I'm sorry. Just so you say you touch Terry Bradshaw, as you walk by.
Sorry, champ. My bad.
But yeah, somebody actually had like some Steelers crap that they sent up to the front to get autographed and stuff, which.
Did he sign it?
I think so.
That's sick.
Yeah. I mean, he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
But he's a big dude.
John Rocker took the heat from his just outspoken views. I think
yeah.
People weren't big fans of his, but
no.
And also, there's a YouTube deal, or I don't know if ESPN did it. Somebody did something regarding him and Kenny Powers. How those
are similar.
Yeah,
like that show was based off of John Rocker.
He's the
Kenny Powers of MLB.
Pete Rose.
I think because he played the game the way he did. And probably because of the gambling. I think those are the two maybe I could think of.
I mean, didn't he? Whose career did he end?
It was a catcher in the All-Star game.
I can't remember his name. It was before my time.
Which that guy wasn't mad about it. Obviously, he's probably mad that his career's over, but he wasn't mad that Pete Rose trucked him.
He went hard, though.
He went hard.
Like, no fucks given.
Nope. And that will be a record that will never be broken.
His hit record?
Oh, yeah.
You know what's interesting now is that the gambling scenario going on and MLB working with
draft, like MLB Network is telling you to go to draft stuff to gamble on baseball.
Pretty interesting.
But then Pete Rose gambled as a manager, not as a player. I mean, I'm sure he gambled as a player, but he wasn't caught gambling as a player.
No.
He was caught gambling as a manager. So why is he not in? And then we had this before. Don't put him in the Hall of Fame as a manager. Fuck it.
Agreed. Roger Clemens.
Yep.
Did you like him or hate him?
I liked him.
Did you?
The only thing I didn't like was when he threw the bat at Piazza.
Yeah.
But, and then he's trying to say he was getting it out of the way. When, come on, bro. We all know you were throwing it at him.
Going back, speaking of that, like an excuse, going back to A-Rod when he was running and he slapped the ball.
Bear tech?
Yeah. That was funny.
Or called ball while he was rounding third on a pop-up. You remember that one? Mm-mm. Yeah.
But, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. Roger Clemens, I'm on the fence with. I was never a huge fan. But I also didn't like the Red Sox, and that's when I remember him being with them.
Yeah.
For that period of time. Manny Ramirez.
Really?
No for me.
Like, you don't like him?
No, I mean, he was good. I mean, dude could hit, but same thing.
Red Sox?
Yeah, and he just kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
I never had a problem with him. So far, I've never really had a problem with any of these guys. So you're not
Przinsky, maybe?
Przinsky would probably be the only one.
Barry Bonds?
No problem whatsoever, except that he was an asshole. I remember we would get tickets when Wendell Kim was their third base coach. And we'd go to Candlestick all the time. And, it was right after he got to the Giants and stuff. And trying to get his autograph was not easy. I mean, he wouldn't even give it to Wendell Kim to get to us. Like your third base coach couldn't even get an autograph for us.
Yeah, that's weird.
I just heard he was a big asshole in that part, but I still respect his game. He was a great player, one of the best to ever play the game, and if not the best, arguably.
Hall of Famer.
100%.
Should be. We'll see how that goes.
But hated, I could see that for sure.
Yeah, I agree. But I liked Bonds.
Yeah.
And I'm not a Giants fan. I was never really a Giants fan, but
yeah.
Always liked Barry Bonds. Carlos Gomez.
Oh, Brewers, Carlos Gomez?
Yeah. Well, he played for a handful of teams.
Well, here's a guy he's the one that does all the antics crap, like where he pimped that homer against the Braves. And
that's my favorite.
And McCann stopped him before he got
He never even got to home plate.
Yeah, so it never should have been a home run.
I mean, he tanked that ball. Yeah, that ball was hit. And then Freddie Freeman's giving him lip, your ass around the bases. And he's just letting it go. And on the road, this isn't his first time acting stupid, though.
No, he's always
This is the
stupid.
best, though, when McCann just says, he's just waiting for him.
Yeah, and McCann doesn't back down
No,
either.
hell no. He's pissed. I love it. This is the freaking first inning.
Who's that one after him? That was Reed Johnson.
Yeah, the Johnson, yeah.
Look at him. Gomez is way back here. That's what I love, dude. It's some of these Latin guys. They're like, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. You know what I mean?
Just backing up further and further getting away.
What? Yes, let's go. It's just funny, bro.
Oh yeah, no, that's one of my favorite plays is when McCann's out there waiting for him, never even let him touch, and they counted the run.
Yeah,
he never got there, but that was first inning. I think it was only one out in the first.
Yeah, I'm not a Carlos Gomez fan.
No, because Machado was on there.
Manny
and he just is a current guy. I didn't know.
Manny has changed his ways since being a Padre.
A little quieter.
He's
when he struck out to end the World Series, I loved it.
Oh yeah. His whole World Series with the Dodgers gave him the worst name, or that run in the playoffs, because the Brewers, the stepping on the foot and all that.
Well, then he threw the bat and went at Baltimore.
Yeah, that was stupid too. But I mean, I think that I don't know who started it, him or Donaldson originally, but that was like one thing, and then he was fine, and then the whole playoff thing kind of blew up because everybody can see it. Because nobody where we're from really watch Orioles games.
No,
let's be honest. So, and that's not just because we're just West Coast. We don't get Orioles games unless you get the MLB package. But that whole Dodgers playoff run kind of killed it for everybody, unless you're actually a Machado fan. But he was just disrespecting the game of baseball. So pure baseball fans,
Yelich, just dirty player playing dirty.
Yeah. So, and I like the Padres, and I like where they're at and what they're doing, and he's gained some of my respect back the way he's played the game, San Diego, and
I think most people might be similar to you. I am, because I didn't like him.
I didn't either.
And he's just quieted down a little bit, gone about his business a little bit differently, not in that type of way. So
yeah.
Jose Canseco.
Oh, hated.
You hated Jose Canseco?
No, I didn't until he ratted everybody out.
Oh. My first glove was the Rawlings Jose Canseco special from Little League. I still have it.
Do you?
Yeah.
I mean, I liked the Bash Brothers.
You didn't like him, but you don't like that it got exposed?
No.
Really?
Look what it did to the game of baseball.
What did it do?
It hurt the game of baseball.
You think so?
Was it not fun? Was it not fun to watch?
I'm not saying that. But I'm saying it's good that we know.
Why? Why is it good that we know? All it's done is hurt the game of baseball because the players from that era are now looked at differently because of what some of them might have done or what all of them. Nobody knows who or what happened. But then it's like, oh, Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds has never had a negative test or been positive or whatever positive for steroids. There's been nothing proven that he's been taking it. Just because he was on the Balco case is why people are holding him out of the Hall of Fame. Pudge Rodriguez was in Canseco's book as taking steroids from Canseco in Texas, but he was first ballot Hall of Famer. There's other players that have been put in the Hall of Fame that were in those stories, were in the books, were on the Balco case, we're on that, but we're treating Barry Bonds different.
So you prefer not to know the truth about that era, though?
100%.
Interesting.
Because it was a great era of baseball.
It was exciting.
It was exciting. I'll tell you what, I'll take that era over this era any fucking day of the week.
I would too.
I'll take guys taking guys out at second, running catchers over, playing the game hard, running hard 90s, diving, getting a base hit when you need a base hit, not trying to hit jacks, batting 300. Fuck yeah. I'll take that baseball any day of the week over, let me go strike out or hit a home run. Let me throw 100 miles an hour but have 40 walks. Let your defense play, run bases, get the extra base. Yeah, dude. The era of baseball we grew up in was amazing. And I think when that came out, it killed it for,
It did its damage.
But like we've talked about, Bud Selig's in the Hall of Fame, and he is the one that, what am I trying to say? He
was in charge. He benefited
the most.
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah.
He benefited the most out of that.
Yeah.
And he's in the Hall of Fame.
I think about it with like Lance Armstrong too. Because like he got banged from cycling. But yet all those guys were doping.
Mm-hmm.
He just did it better. Nobody else. Who else got banned? That what I mean? Like I don't know.
And like Mark McGwire, he's not going to get in the Hall of Fame because he did Androstein when it technically wasn't even illegal.
Well, you were cheating the game, right? Because there wasn't any rules in there at the time, was there?
No.
About it?
And how are you cheating the game? You're still playing the game. It's not like you're throwing the ball over the fence and calling it a home run. You know what I mean?
People think otherwise.
You're getting bigger, faster, stronger. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong to take steroids or whatever. But at that time, there was nothing against it. There was nobody saying...
There's no rule.
There's no ruling saying that this is illegal.
They weren't even testing for it.
No. So if you're going to tell me, and not just everybody, I mean, if you're going to tell me that I could get on the field every single day if I get a little bit of help and it's going to make me bigger, faster, stronger, and I'm an average baseball player, why wouldn't I? I'd become average to good. It would give me maybe 5 more years in the big leagues. It would maybe get me to my pension. It would maybe get me that bigger deal. I might become an all-star. Tell me what player out there in that moment would almost say no to that. When there's not now though, because now it's illegal. I'm talking about
but what
then.
are they doing now that
People are still getting popped.
well,
Robinson got popped twice already.
what? There's other things out there though
Yeah.
that aren't illegal. People do stuff all the time.
Yeah.
You know, to benefit their lives.
Yeah. I don't know. I just said that's why I don't like Canseco's, because it's almost that bro code, you know, like what happens here stays here. And he lost all his money and he wanted to make a buck, you know, just like his boxing career, getting his ass whooped. He wanted to make a buck for 10 seconds in the ring. And now he wants to fight again.
Yeah, no. Nobody's going to stoop for that again.
You know what I mean? So
That's over. He lost that one. That won't happen again.
So that's why I don't like him, because I think it just hurt. Because I think non-baseball people or some baseball people might hold grudges against those guys when there was more than we know doing it.
Well, and they were already good. In my eyes, they were already good players.
Clemens was already a Hall of Famer before he got to New York.
Yeah, I felt Bonds was a Hall of Fame, the same boat.
But Bonds has never been tested positive.
No.
So we can't assume
Yes.
that he took steroids.
Yes, I agree.
Even though we assume he took steroids, we can't assume that because it's never been proven.
Yes, agreed.
So that's my. Why is he not in the Hall of Fame? He has not been proven to taking steroids. Is it because the media hates him? 100%. Roger Clemens, take out his Yankee years and do his career, he's still a Hall of Famer. Why is he not in the Hall of Fame? Because the media doesn't like him. Who votes for the Hall of Fame? The media.
So not a Canseco fan, huh?
No, he ruined it.
The last one, and we'll end on this, was the 2017 Houston Astros.
Love him.
Oh,
Bunch of ballers.
we'll end it on that.
Ring and bling.
Let us know if you had any fans of those or you hated any of those. I thought that was interesting. Wanted to get your take on some of those players. There were other guys out there. Those were some of the more interesting names that I thought. But again, may the 4th be with you. We'll miss that. This will be Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah. Quick shout out to Courtney Deifel at Arkansas. They're playing 2 games today, and they have a chance to clinch the SEC title for the first time
Awesome.
in a long time.
Good for her.
Yeah, they're having a great year, and so I know she probably won't even listen to this episode, but I just want to throw it out there because they're doing a hell of a job.
Again, go subscribe on Spotify, iTunes, Spreaker. Follow us there too. Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And again, please share and subscribe here. We appreciate all the love. And
J-Lup's raking right now. Luplo.
yeah. And that's how Connor made that play. You posted that the other day.
Yeah, bare hand, no big deal.
Yeah, no, nothing crazy there. But a lot of crazy stuff going on in the big leagues. Mm-hmm. Had to get it out there. We were, I know we're the last ones to talk about it, but getting to it eventually.
Yeah.
So we appreciate, again, all the people reaching out, all the love. I got a lot of texts. Talked to some people at our game Friday against the Ranchos. Yeah, that was fun. Those guys are doing a pretty good job over there, man. Coach Kuhn and his staff played really well for some young guys. I wanted to shout him out. But that's episode 107, Hit or Die podcast.
Hit or die.